Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Thursday, the 18th day of the month of September, 2025. It is Thursday of the 24th week of the year, the 24th week in Ordinary Time. It is also the optional memorial of St. Joseph of Cupertino, Franciscan conventual who was renowned for being able to fly. So, Franciscan patron saint of all of those involved in flight work and flight things like that. So flight attendants, pilots, ground crew, gate attendants, whatever it is. Joseph of Cupertino is their patron saint. Why was he able to fly? Gift from God. What is he able to do with flying? Just flew around. So again, he was supposedly not very intelligent or a lower class of the brothers and what have you, and yet he possessed this wonderful gift that kind of shocked his brothers and things like that. They try to tie him down, all kinds of stories and things like that. But whatever. So there it is. Today, another little Franciscan saint to kind of bring joy to our lives. But on this Thursday of the 24th week of the year, I'm in the St. Marianne Cope playground here at the preschool. Again, St. Marianne Cope, who has a bit of a more extensive resume than Joseph of Cupertino. She assisted Damien of Molokai in the leper colonies that were abundant on that island of Hawaii, back in the 1800s. And so this wonderful playground that has been created, named for them and named for her at our preschool. On this day, though, we continue with the letter to Timothy and the Church of Ephesus. Now in chapter 4 of it, we've passed over a couple of lines and sections in the other chapters and things like that. But again, it's the sense of asking those who are in leadership within the community there in Ephesus to get to know what they are about, and to remember again that it is the community that has contributed to their responsibility, to the responsibility they have been given to be able to lead this community and to be able to help this community be able to embrace the gospel and to embrace what the gospel asks us to embrace. And so this important responsibility happens from the laying on of hands by these individuals called presbyters. And so again, the question is what really is a presbyter then? In Timothy's time, there are just bishops and deacons, as those who do matters sacramental, as much as the sacraments exist, at this time. But within that, again, there was this group of individuals who are advisors to the bishop. And it is interesting that it's at their hands and not necessarily the hands of a bishop himself that the power is given, the authority is given to these individuals to be able to lead the community. So again, this whole kind of mix of responsibilities, and the whole kind of mix of individuals who are responsible, who will become responsible for this early Christian community, coming in a variety of different ways. It's the importance, though, of touch within this whole matter. These individuals are not designated as leaders because of something they eat or they drink. They're not designated as leaders because of a test they take. They're not designated as leaders because they have to prove something in a great mission and things like that. They are designated as leaders simply by the sense of touch. By a hand that is laid upon them to designate the importance of this. It goes back to the Old Testament again, and how David is named as a king by having a hand laid upon him. Again, the sense of being chosen in this way through our human mediation by God, and this chosenness by God being recognized in the same way, which continues to be passed down today in many ways, and should be exercised even more in a way that shows relationship and connectedness to one another. In Luke's Gospel, Jesus goes to a leading Pharisee, dines at his house. A woman comes in. She is not Mary Magdalene. Do not go there. But a woman of ill repute who comes in, who basically anoints his feet, or washes his feet with her tears, dries them with her hair, anoints his feet, and shows him lavish affection and things like that. Pharisees, because they know who she is, are offended at this woman. How did she get into the house to begin with? Never ever really says. And because of that, they say, how can Jesus permit this woman to touch him like this because she is unclean and things like that? And so Jesus says, again, you didn't do anything for me when I came in here, except make sure that you knew that I was coming and you could show me off. This woman basically, though, comes to me without saying anything and decides to show an act of care and compassion and affection and she should not be denied it, even though she has, again, this reputation or whatever it is. Because she cares enough to do this, it wipes away any other kinds of bad things that she's ever done. To be able to think in this way, of not segregating people out, but of welcoming them in, is what Jesus is trying to get at with these Pharisees, who are trying to live, unfortunately, in an enclave of purity and holiness that is blinding them from where true wonder and true beauty lie. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God, and from the Marianne Co Playground. May the Lord give you his peace.